Who likes sex? Me! Who likes sex?
Bawal sex.
What if I tell you it's bawal sex?
Bawal sex.
What if I tell you it's bawal?
Bawal makes it good.
Would you agree?
I wouldn't have been created.
Without sex?
Yeah.
Right. Who wants to have kids in the future? If you
I
still
have
don't
two.
have two. You. Who else?
Not accidentally.
Everyone.
Who else? Everyone? What if I tell, I told you that having kids is bawal?
Huh?
What? How come it's bawal?
No, it's not. Got you there. Anyway.
That's so bawal.
Those are not the bawals that I'm going to talk about. But in essence, I'd like to speak to you about the bawals that exist in our culture in relation with having sexual relationships, founding a family, and controlling the size of your family. In essence, I'd like to speak to you about your rights. Your rights to have your own life and control your own life. What if I tell you that about 30% of young people actually think that AIDS is curable? Does that mean that knowing about AIDS is bawal? Yeah, but 30% of our young people think that AIDS is curable. What if I tell you that about 20% of our young people have had their first sex before the age of 15? Would you believe that? And yet people choose, we choose to believe otherwise. We choose to believe that young people are not sexually active, right? Right? Those of you who have kids, you don't know what your kids are doing. And those of you who are having sex, you better be careful. Okay? What if I tell you that about 80% of our young girls do not know about their body functions, about their reproductive system? What if I tell you that only 2% of our young women actually know about the relationship between pregnancy and fertility?
2%?
2%, and that's the reality. What if I tell you that only 10% of our young people actually talk to their parents about sex? Did you talk about your parents? Did you talk to your parents about sex?
No!
Why?
That's bawal.
Embarrassing. I won't even talk about it to my kids.
Exactly, bawal. What if I tell you that about 90% of our women who give birth at home?
90?
No, 50%. And 90% of the rich women, 94% to be exact, of our rich women give birth with attendance of health professionals. What if I tell you that 11 of our women actually die daily because of complications of pregnancy and childbirth? Is that acceptable? Is that acceptable? Tell me.
No.
It's not acceptable to you. Is it acceptable to anybody?
11 a day?
11 a day. That makes it more than 4,000 a year.
One a day is not
And our
acceptable.
mortality, our maternal mortality is actually one of the highest in Asia. We are the second highest when it comes to maternal mortality in Asia. And yet we have the solution. We have been fighting for 16 years, mind you, 16 years, to have that reproductive health bill become law. What will the bill do? It will actually just make information and life-saving services to our women available. It will only make family what if I tell you that we have more than 500,000 cases of abortions in the Philippines, despite being
Catholic.
and bawal. Hindi ba? Abortions are illegal. And yet we have more than 500,000. Why? Because there's so many unplanned, unwanted pregnancies. Without unplanned, unwanted pregnancy, what if I tell you that the best argument to pass the RH bill is if you're anti-abortion, you should be supporting of the RH bill. And you young people, you can actually do a lot. The bill is there. We are working for it to pass. We can get it this Congress. All they need is to put that political will that this government puts in other issues, like the impeachment, like other issues, into the passage of bills that matter to the lives of people. And all this bawal will go away. We are all in social media, right?
Yes.
And we all know that the social media, particularly Twitter, has changed a lot of things in this country. Instead of just receiving news, we create news, right? What happens in social media, what's discussed in social media is picked up by mainstream media and they become news. I ask you, young people, do this for your mothers, do this for yourselves, do this for your future kids. Join us, just tweet about it, tell your politicians what you think about the RH bill, that you support it and that they should support it. Otherwise, you won't vote for them. But as in all things, social media is just one of those tools that can be used for social change, right? Nothing beats the real thing. Just like sex, you cannot tweet an orgasm, can you? Can you? If you can, that's pathetic.
Yes.
Diba?
Sad.
Nothing beats the real thing. So, beyond the social media, you've got to move on and go to the communities where your help will count. Because that is where you young people will make a difference. This is for your life. This is for your country. This is for your future. Go and move those bawals away.
So guys, we're now done with our 5 speakers. Are we done?
No.
Angie, I love you!